My name is Ais655 Presentation Pbl.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Syazwani binti Muhammad Zaki.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Nadirah binti Khairul Imran.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurin Nazifa binti Rosli.
Our company's name is Basic Glam. Basic Glam has a nature of business in selling women accessories. Make Basic Glam as the first choice in women accessories is our vision and priority. Established on 1 January 2017, Basic Glam offering high quality accessories with the affordable prices. Basic Glam has built its brand over 3 years and has its own website and followers. Until 2020, we have 5 products line with 3 products each of them, which make it a total of 15 products. Started as a small trading firm in Puchong, Selangor, Basic Glam today has opened 5 branches and is planning to expanding the business more in Semenanjung, Sabah and Sarawak. For now, each of the branches has 3 sales representatives. Here is the sales transaction data. A sum of 218 of total sales have been made by the 5 branches for the year 2020. From the data, we can see that there are some repeated customers that purchase a few times over the past 12 months. This shows sign that our customers are satisfied with our products and service provided. This is the employee data or salesman representative. Here we record the employee ID, employee name, their addresses and telephone number, and also their branch ID. As we mentioned in background company earlier and see from this data, there are 5 branches including the main one in Puchong. We record the total sales, total cost and total profit that have been achieved by each branch for the year 2020. This is our customer data. In here, we recorded all the customer details such as customer ID, customer name, customer age, customer telephone number and customer address. This data will be kept and stored to make easier for the next time purchasing. This one is the data about our products. There are 15 products which consist of 5 base product line and 3 of variation for each of the product line. In this data, it's also recorded the selling and the cost of price of the products. This helps and smooth the process in calculation of the profit.
There are 6 entities which are customer, invoice, employee, product line, product and branch. There are 6 relationships which are the first one is customer to invoice. The relationship is one to many where the primary key of the customer is customer ID. For the invoice, the primary key is invoice number and the foreign key are employee ID, product ID, branch ID and customer ID. The second relationship is invoice to employee. The relationship is many to one where the primary key of the employee is employee ID and the foreign key is branch ID. The third relationship is invoice to product line where the relationship is one to many. The primary key of the product line is product line ID. For the fourth relationship is product line and product where the relationship is many to one. The primary key for the product is product ID and the foreign key for the product is product line ID. For the fifth relationship is employee and branch, which is the relationship is many to one. The primary key for the branch is branch ID. And lastly, the relationship is for employee and product line, where the relationship is one-to-many. For pivot table of sales analysis by month, filters we use product ID, for rows we use month, and values we use sum of price. And the second pivot table, which is for product analysis by age, for filters we use product ID, rows, customer age, and values sum of quantity. For sales analysis by branch, we use rows for branch ID and values for sum of total sales. For customer analysis by product, we use filters for customer ID, columns for value, rows for product ID, and values for sum of quantity and sum of price. For pivot table of employee analysis by product, for the filters we use employee ID, rows we use product ID, and sum and values for sum of quantity. For the profit analysis by branch, for the columns we use values, rows branch name, and values are the sum of total profit and sum of sales. And lastly, for the product analysis by month, we use filters for product ID, rows for month, and values sum of quantity.
The chart shows the sum of total profit and the sum of total sales received by each branch. As expected, Puchong branch has the highest amount in profit and sales. Unfortunately, for Johor Bahru branch has the lowest out of the 5 branch. If you click on the branch slicer, for example, Icro, the chart will only shows the total profit and sales of Icro. The pie chart represents the products sold by our sales representative. If you click on the salesman slicer, for example Dahlia Nana, we can see that she has sold over 50% scrunchie. The graph depicts the most frequently purchased products by our buyer. Our loop earring is the most popular among our customers, as we have sold over 30 loop earrings. Even if the quantity is large, the total amount of sales is small owing to the price. In this graph, the x-axis represents the age of customer of Basic Glam, while on the y-axis it represents the sum quantity of products that have been purchased. Basic Glam's products are mostly aimed towards customers in their teens and 20s. As can be seen, the age of 21 is the one that dominates the graph. The majority of people that buy with Basic Glam are between the ages of 20 and 22. The least number of people who buy from our company is 11 years old and 34 years old. The graph is showing the sales transaction received by Basic Glam in each month for the year 2020. As we can see, in 2020, Basic Glam will at least make RM400 sales transactions and will not less than that amount. The highest sales that we achieve is amounting to RM810 in November. From the graph, we can conclude that the average of sales for Basic Glam company is RM526. The business can establish sales targets for each month of the following year in order to improve and have higher sales than this year. If we click on the product slicer, for example Lilac Purple Scrunchie, the sales analysis chart and product analysis chart will change accordingly. Now let's look at our overview of the company performance for the year of 2020. Firstly, here we have our total sales amounted to 6,320 ringgit and our total total profit is 3,120 ringgit. Alina Amir, our sales representative, has shown the best performance among all of our employees. She is our top representative for the year of 2020. Puchong branch has the highest overall performance, hence it deserves the title Top Branch of Basic Glam of the year 2020. Lastly, loop earring has become our best seller product for the year of 2020.
Basic glam performance during current economic situation. COVID-19 pandemic and Movement Control Order MCO has affected the world including Malaysia as well as business. Most businesses are having a hard time to survive since physical stores are not permissible to open. This has greatly affected our company. Since the government has imposed the MCO, our company, Basic Glam, that sells women accessories, has been affected since we are not selling and providing essential goods and services. People find that buying necessities are important rather than spending their money on something that isn't in this current economic situation. Hence, our company's performance has been declining since the pandemic hit. However, we are considered lucky because we're still able to make sales compared to companies that aren't, even though we just barely make sales. Moreover, some of our employees also have to be retrenched, which is very sad. This is because we have to cut costs since our sales performance has been declining. We cannot afford to pay their monthly salary when the company is barely making revenue. It was hard for us to make that decision as we understand that it is hard for them to find a new job in this current situation. But we also have to think about the future of our company. Basic Glam's strategy to ensure its long-term viability in the current economic environment. Looking at our performance during this current economic situation, Basic Glam has made some strategic decisions to ensure its long-term viability. Firstly, we decided to look for cross-functional collaboration not just within the company, but also with suppliers, stakeholders, logistic providers, and even rivals. Going at it alone might not be enough. Although this strategy may only be temporary, but it has the potential to make a big difference. These kinds of offers will help attract new customers while also getting old ones interested in coming back. Besides, we decided to step up our company's e-commerce game. With fewer people able to leave their houses to spend money on goods, consumer habits have changed. Consumers all around the world are turning to online shopping. We have set up our email communication to work automatically. We now allow customers to track and manage their order all through an entirely online interface. Moreover, we decided to improve our communication with our beloved customers. The previous communication approach may no longer be appropriate when people's priorities and schedule have changed due to this pandemic. We have conducted an email survey with questions about our customers' current priorities, pain points, and needs. As a result, we can utilize this data to rethink our communication strategy and provide better service to our consumers.
We found that our sales performance has been declining a lot in 2020 due to the current economic condition that affects our company. Our highest sales for 2020 is in November, which is RM810, but the amount is 4 times as small as the year before. It is only appropriate to identify our mistakes and plan new strategies on how to improve our sales. For instance, asking for customer feedback will help to identify where improvements can be made. Although we have imposed new strategies to help our sales, we cannot help but predict a decline of sales in the near future because of the current condition in this pandemic. We predict that the sales will increase in the month of February, May, June, November, and December because of the festive seasons.